the PWM rectifier, right? Now there are two types of PWM rectifier. First one is a single phase PWM rectifier, and the second one is the three phase PWM converter. And this voltage source rectifier and current source rectifier are the control scheme for this PWM converter. Now we go for by one. Anyone can tell what is meant by regenerative braking? Means what are the conditions for regenerative braking? Here the term, here you can see the regenerative rectifier. So that the regenerative means what? Anyone can? Hello? You know the regenerative braking in means in induction motor also. What is meant by regenerative braking?
When the rotor rotates higher than synchronous speed, then it will act as a generator.
Means generator means the load voltage is greater than source voltage, right? Means source is supplying power to the, means load is supplying power to the source. Means power flow direction is reverse in the regenerative mode. This is the main concept behind the regenerative. Now we will see the working principle of this single phase PWM converter. This is the structure, that is, this is the circuit diagram for PWM converter. Here you can see this is the MOSFET. Means here there is an internal BJT, internal diode is, the MOSFET has internal diode. Therefore, here structure is given to you. At the same time, here this is the structure, and for the proper operation of this PWM converter, there are some features. That is, while we using this PWM converter, the source power factor is unity or leading, right? Means with the help of this PWM converter, we get unity power factor or leading power factor. In the next slide, we will see how we get this power factor improvement. Now, for the proper operation of this converter, we assume that the assumption is that the load voltage V0 is greater than Vs. Means always the load voltage V0 is greater than Vs. Therefore, it acts in the acts as a boost converter, right? Now we have to, and the third main objective, that we should put the V0 is equals to constant. Means we have to generate some controller, or we should apply some controller such that this V0 is constant always. And here is the source current is equals to sinusoidal. Means with the help of this PWM converter, source current is always sinusoidal, and there is some improvement should be done with the help of this controller, with the help of the controller, to keep the source current sinusoidal. In the next slide, we will see control scheme, and the power flow is bidirectional. Here, suppose our source voltage is greater than output voltage V0, then through the diode, the conduction is occur, and the power is flow from source to load. But when the load voltage is greater than source voltage, then the conduction is occurred to the through this switch. It means the power flow is bidirectional. But in previous, with the help of this only thyristor, the power flow is only unidirectional. This is the these are the main features. Means there are some conditions we have to keep while seeing the working principle of this PWM converter. You have to just put in mind that this PWM converter is acting in a regenerative mode. Means we always assume that this V0 is always greater than Vs, and here to keep the V0 constant, there is also capacitor is placed such that we get output voltage V0 is equals to always constant. Now here there are some essential requirement for the single phase PWM rectifier. That is, there should be always inductance at the source side to reduce the ripple in the source current, as well as the capacitance at the output side or DC side. Here you can see there is capacitance at the output side. And to make the source current sinusoidal, you have to just implement some controller. That's why here open loop control is not possible, because in control we have to just take the feedback, and after comparison we give the error. Therefore for this there is always this PWM converter is always works with the only closed loop control. Therefore open loop control is not possible. These are the some essential requirement while implementing this PWM converter. Now we will see the operation of this circuit, that is PWM converter single phase. As we assume that the output voltage is greater than the input voltage, right? That's why this always the power flow from load side to source side. Why we go for regenerative mode? Because as we control the source voltage IS, source current IS, and the control of this source current is possible only when this converter is act in the regenerative mode. Therefore we go for regenerative mode, and the power flow is reverse, right? Then here we always assume that V0 is greater than Vs. First one we assume that means this first one we assume that this T1 and T4 are on. This T1 and T4 are on means as power is means this the power flow is occurred like this. Here you can see just the cursor of this mouse, the power is flowing like this. The source current IS is in the negative direction, T1 and T4. So the current is flowing in this direction, right? The closed loop control is means the loop is completed. Means in this direction the current is flow and the power is feedback, means power is supplied from load to source. Here you can see when T1 and T4 are on, this is the circuit. This switches act as a short circuit. Therefore here short circuit is made. Here you can see, but we have to just consider the output voltage. Here this is the output voltage. This VL is nothing but voltage across the inductor, and the Vs is nothing but the source voltage. Now this T1 and T4 are on, means you have to just calculate the VAF. VAF is nothing but the this output voltage V0. Here VAF is nothing but V0, right? Now as VAF is equals to V0, we have to just write it as VAF is nothing is equals to K into V0. What is mean by K? K is, we assume that here K is equals to 1. We have to just see the significance of this K in later. In next state, we assume that this T3 and T2 are on. Once this T2 and T3 are on, the current is flowing in this direction. You just see the cursor of this mouse. Here T3 and T3 and T2. You just see the means the closed loop control is possible, means loop is completed, right? Here you can see this is the loop which is completed. Sorry, here you can see T3. This from this first we assume that the capacitor is charged, right? Here you can see this capacitor discharged to this T2, flowing current is flowing through the inductance. It's coming back to the source, right? Here the loop is completed. This T3, right? Likewise, like T2, right? This loop is completed, and once this capacitor is discharged through the means this direction, right? Therefore, here the upper side is negative, means you have to just current is flowing from this direction. Therefore, here once in previous state we assume this upper side as upper plate as positive and here negative. When we apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law, we get VAF is equals to minus V0, right? And we equate it equals to K into V0. What is K? K we assume it because as we write K into V0, here K is equals to minus 1. We will see the significance of K in the latter. Now we assume that T1 and T3 are on. Once this T1 and T3 are on, here you can see this acts as a short circuited, means this VIF acts as a short circuited. Therefore, the output voltage across this VIF is equals to 0. Therefore, VIF is equals to 0. Therefore, we assume that K is equals to 0. Now, here we just see the voltage across the inductor, the voltage across the load, that is VIF. We just calculate, but we until we doesn't see the nature of this IS. Our main aim to make the IS sinusoidal, right? Now there are some here further. Here you can see, as we see the three modes of operation. From this, we write the equation for voltage across the inductor. We can write the voltage across the inductor VL as Vs minus V naught. We just apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law, and VL equals to Vs minus V naught. Here you can see, as VL equals to L dis by dt, because the current flow through the inductor is nothing but source current Is. Here you can see the current which is flowing through the inductor is nothing but Is. Therefore, here we written it as L dis by dt. This is the traditional equation. We have to just put what is meant by VL from the previous diagram. It is Vs minus kV naught. Now we will see the significance of K here. Student, it is understand by you or not? Hello? Or any doubts for you? Hello? Anyone is present or not here? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, understood.
Okay. You have any doubt? Then ask me. You can interrupt me at any time, right? Just see all the slides with neat. खूप फास्ट होते का, असं काय वाटतंय का तुम्हाला की स्लो घ्या जावं वगैरे, का स्पीड बरोबर आहे? जर तुम्हाला अंडरस्टँड होत असेल तर ठीक आहे, खूप स्पीड होत असेल तर सांगा फक्त, चालेल. नाउ we will see the significance of this K. Here in the first operation, here you can see there are three modes, that is first, second and third. In the first mode, K is equals to 1. Here K is equals to 1 means this Vs minus V naught occur, means as this Vs minus V naught occur, this VL means VL is equals to Vs minus V naught. As K is equals to 1, this VL gets decreases because Vs is get subtracted by V naught, means this whole quantity get reduced. As this whole quantity get reduced, means VL also get reduced. As VL reduces, we can say that VL is equals to L dis by dt. As L, this is constant because this is the device, it always fixed in the circuit. Therefore, we assume that VL is directly proportional to Is. As K is equals to 1, this whole term decreases, means VL decreases. As VL decreases, this Is decreases, right? This Is is nothing but source current. And this K is equals to 1 operation occurs when T1 and T4 are on. Means this thyristor T1 and T4 are on, then this K is equals to 1 occur. Now in the second case, this K is equals to minus 1. In the second operation, here you can see, here K is equals to minus 1, right? When K is equals to minus 1, then it occurs as Vs plus V naught, means this whole quantity increases. As this whole quantity increases, this VL increases. As VL increases, this Is increases, means source current increases when T2 and T3 are on, right? Means by switching different thyristor, we can increase or decrease the value of Is, means we have the control on the source current with the help of this switching. But how to switch this thyristor, means which technique is used to turn on this thyristor, we will see later. And third mode is K is equals to 0. K is equals to 0 when we on turn on the upper side thyristor or lower side thyristor, right? When these two thyristor are on, then the system becomes short circuited, and the whole here V naught equals to 0, right? Therefore VL is directly proportional to Vs, means Is is directly proportional to Vs, means increase or decrease of the source current is totally depends on the source voltage. Here you can see increase or decrease depends upon the source voltage. Now we will see how to turn on, means how to keep the control on the source current such that we get sinusoidal source current. Here you can see classical control scheme for this single phase PWM rectifier. Here we go by step. So here V0 reference is given, means this V0 reference is nothing but, here you can see here, means our main aim is to keep the load voltage always constant, means according to our load we should give some value that we should require the load voltage is equals to this value, and we have to assume this value as a reference. This reference value is given here, and the actual voltage, load voltage value V0 is taken from the previous PWM converter, is taken here. Here V0 reference is given, and the actual output voltage is given here, and the comparison is done of these two values, and the error signal is given to the voltage controller. Here voltage controller is nothing but the PI controller, and the PI controller takes the corrective action on the error, and it will give the signal to this block. But the amplitude of this means their corrective action is given by the voltage controller, means here you can see what actual voltage, means which actual output voltage is required, is given by this voltage controller. Depending upon this output voltage, here this Is variation in this Is is, from this equation you can see the variation in this Is is totally depends upon this output voltage. Here you can see from this, as the magnitude of V0 decides we should require the source current high or low, right? From this, the output of the voltage controller gives the magnitude of the source current from this equation. You can see, you have just give the attention that you should understand this concept, that this value of V0 decides the value of the source current, right, from this equation. That's why we have to apply this voltage controller such that we get the output voltage V0 that is we should require, means the error signal, and depending upon the error signal there is a constant DC value which is given by this controller, and depending upon this output of the voltage, means output of the controller is nothing but the magnitude which is required of the source current, right? But this only give the DC value, but we have to require the source current sinusoidal. This block just give the, here this block just give you the magnitude of the source current, but we have to require the source current is always sinusoidal, and it is always in phase with the source voltage. Therefore this is the Vs. Vs is nothing but the supply voltage, and we have to give this block, and this DC value is gets multiplied with this source voltage, and this source, as you know, the source voltage is always in phase and it has always sinusoidal. Therefore we have to just multiply this DC value with the source voltage, and we get Is reference, right? This is the main step which you have to understand how we get I reference. Once I repeated that, this voltage controller, means this voltage controller makes the corrective action, and it gives the voltage which is required for our operation, and depending upon this output voltage we can design the magnitude of the Is, means it just analyzes the behavior of this V0 and it gives the means the amplitude of this V0 is nothing but amplitude of Is, and depending upon this we have to just identify the magnitude of Is, but here we just identify the magnitude of Is, but we have here we just multiplied with Vs such that we get sinusoidal source current, and this is act as a reference current. Now this is the reference current generation here. And this Is is nothing but the source current, which is here. This is the source current which we have taken feedback from PWM converter. PWM converter here. Is is nothing but the source current in the PWM converter. We have just take the here comparison of this Is reference and Is. This source current is happen, and the error is given to the current controller, and this current controller here is the hysteresis current controller, and as this hysteresis current controller gives the firing angle to thyristor, means PWM converter, right? Here you actually see how we can design the firing pulses for thyristor. We have to just use these two controller, voltage controller and current controller. Now we will see here you can see voltage controller is nothing but the PI controller, and current controller is hysteresis current controller. We just see what is meant by this hysteresis current controller. Now here we just go for voltage controller. Here we use proportional and integral controller as a voltage controller, because we have to just modify means we have to just take the corrective action in the error on the error. So we go for PI controller, and the output of the PI controller is proportional to the error signal and integral of the error. Why we go for proportional controller? Because depending upon the V0 reference and output voltage V0, we have to just modify the error, and we have to just require the steady state error is equals to 0, and with the help of this PI controller it is possible to get the steady state error 0, and the output of the voltage controller, here you can see the output of the voltage controller is termed as a current reference, right? We have to just multiply with the source voltage, and the output of the controller is DC value, so we have to multiply it with the source voltage to get the sinusoidal current reference. Now we go for current hysteresis current controller. We have to I just give the brief, means just introduction of this two block. What is meant by this hysteresis current controller? Now the hysteresis current controller, how switching signals are generated with the help of this hysteresis current controller. Here you can see this is the current reference. Here just you see the cursor, mouse cursor. This is the actual current reference. This is sinusoidal. I just give for one cycle only. Now this is the upper hysteresis band. You just see the cursor of the mouse. This is upper hysteresis band, and this is the lower hysteresis band. And suppose this is the variation of in the current Is in the original PWM rectifier. We just assume the source current is means the nature of the source current is just in triangular pulses, right? Now see the working principle of this current controller. Here you can see from this direction. Here you can see, right? Here you can see as this actual current waveform touches the upper hysteresis band, then it assumes that the source current is more as compared to the reference current. Here you can see this is the reference and this is the actual source current. Once it touches to the upper band, then it says that the source current is greater than reference current, such that for this purpose we have to decrease the source current, right? For decrease the source current, here you can see means we have to just decrease the source current Is, and for this here you can see Is will decreases when T1 and T4 are on, right? means we have to just turn on T1 and T4. Here you can give here. Just we have to give the firing pulses for T1 and T4, right? In the next cycle, suppose in the here you can see the cycle is started from this, while the actual reference current touches to the lower hysteresis band, means it gives a signal that the actual source current is less than the reference current. As this actual source current is less than the reference current, then we have to turn on T2 and T3. Here you can see IS will increases when T2 and T3 are on. Here, that's why we have to just turn on the T2 and T3. While we on the T2 and T3, then source current will increases, right? Here you can see the source current will increases. We have to just study how when we turn on T1 and T4, and just when we turn on T2 and T3, right? It this hysteresis current controller actually means it develop the this switching signal, PWM switching signal itself, such that in one cycle, here you can see just in one cycle it generates multiple firing pulses, such that we can trace the source current as sinusoidal, and it is similar to the reference source current, right? But in previous PWM, in previous traditional rectifier, you can see in just one cycle we have to just generate only one firing pulse, and this is the to generate multiple pulses in one cycle. This is the main advantages with this hysteresis current controller, such that we can trace our source current mostly equal to the reference current. This is the main working with this hysteresis current controller. You can just study how we when with the help of this hysteresis current controller, you just understand that when we should turn on thyristor T1 and T4, and when we just turn on T2 and T3, it takes care, this hysteresis current controller takes care of this to generate all the firing pulses for respect to thyristor, right? This is the working principle of hysteresis current controller. Here you can see from the current controller which is used here, it is the hysteresis current controller, right? And from this we have to get the firing pulses for T1 and T3, or all the T1, T2 and T3, T4, that is all thyristor, we get the firing pulses, right? And from this firing pulses, by controlling the firing pulses, we can just control the magnitude and phase of this IS reference, right? Now here we see the actual diagram of the voltage source and current source waveform for the PWM converter. This is the voltage source waveform with the help of this PWM converter, and here is the current source waveform. As you compare these two waveforms are in same phase, and this source current waveform is also sinusoidal. Therefore, the main objective of the PWM converter is satisfied. Therefore, we can say that with the help of this PWM converter, we can get the power factor as a unity. And just in the next slide, we will see how we how to just phase shift. Suppose we have to require the converter should be operated at power factor leading or lagging. We will see in the next slide that which modification should be required for this. But to make the source current sinusoidal, this main aim is completed. In next slide in next slide we will see how to just get the unity power factor, or leading power factor or lagging power factor, but this modification is means this modification is done with three-phase converter also, because the method is same, but I give the just analysis how to operate at leading power factor also. This modification I have done in three-phase converter because the methodology is same here. Now this is the same waveform. This is the single phase PWM converter. Here you can see rectifier and regenerative operation. Here you can see this is the operation up to this. This operation is with the help of this regenerative means from this side, this instant to this instant. You just see this is the operation with regenerative operation, right? It is power flow from load side to source side, and from this onward, the operation is with operation is nothing but the PWM rectifier. But you can see here, while power is transferred from source side to load side, the conduction of diode is occur, and the diode acts as an uncontrolled rectifier, right? And therefore, we can't maintain source voltage and source current are in phase with the help of this diode. Therefore, we just work this PWM converter in rectifier mode such that we have to control the source current IS, right? This is the main difference is given here, that up to this the source current and source voltage are in same phase, but once it acts in the rectifier mode, there is some difference in the source voltage and source current, right? Up to this, there is a construction working principle of this PWM converter. Now, this is the summary. That is, with the help of this single phase PWM converter, we get controllable output voltage, because we have to just apply the capacitor at the load side, and we have to just use the voltage controller and current controller also. That's why we get the controllable output voltage. And in many applications, means many loads always requires constant output voltage. The second one is with the help of this hysteresis current controller, we get current source as a sinusoidal, and both the voltage source and current source are sinusoidal. Therefore, THD of IS is very low. It is present, but it is very low as compared to the traditional rectifier. And this can be operated at any power factor. This concept I will explain in three phases. It can be operated at leading power factor, and therefore compensation of power factor of other load connected in parallel. Therefore, we have to just doesn't require to compensate the power factor. The power flow is bidirectional. As you see, we can operate this PWM converter in rectifier mode as well as regenerative mode also. It works in boost mode for rectifier operation, right? This is all the conclusion which we have studied from the single phase PWM converter. Now this is now we will see the three phase PWM converter. But once we start with this PWM three phase, we have to just require to maintain the flow. That's why I will not go for, because from next lecture we will go for three phase PWM converter, right? Anyone can have any doubt? Up to this, we have just complete our syllabus up to the single phase PWM converter, right? Students, anyone can have any doubt? Hello? Anyone is present or not? Hello? Okay. There is one homework for you, that you just calculate the THD for this waveform, right? You just try how to calculate, means you have to just use the knowledge from this side, from this slide, and you have to just solve. You have to just find the THD and give the answer in the next lecture, right? Wait for 2 minutes only. Today we stop our lecture. Now you can leave.
हॅलो.
Hello.
हा मॅम, रेकॉर्डेड लेक्चरच्या लिंक